Welcome to This Morning on Republic. I'm Rukma and in our top story, it's the day of the mega face-off between Draupadi Murmu and Yashwant Sinha. 776 MPs and 4,033 MLAs will cast their votes to choose India's 15th president. The counting will begin at 10 this morning and continue till 5 p.m. in the evening. While the voting to seal the fate of the next president will happen today, counting will be done on the 21st of July. So the countdown begins for the race to Raisina Hill. Draupadi Murmu versus the opposition's candidate Yashwant Sinha. Even as Murmu continues to garner or has continued to garner tremendous support even from parties which were originally to support the opposition candidate. It's the day of the mega face-off today. And joining us now are our correspondents Piyush Ori, who's joining us live here in New Delhi, and Harsha. First of all, coming to you, Harsha, when we talk about the presidential elections today, it's to be a mega face-off. Draupadi Murmu, however, looks clearly the front runner.
Exactly. Right now we are outside Yashwant Sinha residence, and he is also saying continuously while visiting to various states that this time mandate will be with Yashwant Sinha. We are outside his residence and he will be leaving his residence around 8:30 a.m. directly for parliament. But let me tell you that today around 4,800 MP MLAs are going to vote for this very important presidential elections on July 21st. The result will be declared, and on July 25th the oath will be taken of the new 15th president of the country. But yes, at many places Yashwant Sinha has clearly said, though Draupadi Murmu has the support of 60% opposition leaders, because we are seeing AIADMK, BJD, Shiv Sena, JMM, the parties whom we were not expecting even the Draupadi Murmu will be getting support with. Those parties also have extended their support with Draupadi Murmu. Out of total of something around 10,86,000 something votes, Draupadi Murmu already has the support of 6,67,000 some votes. So it is clearly NDA is already believing that Draupadi Murmu will clearly, they are also very confident that Draupadi Murmu will clearly win this presidential very important election. But Yashwant Sinha, while visiting at various states, have uplifted his voice and said clearly straight that this time president has to be something different. This time the president has to be someone who has to interfere in sort of some matters, and this time the mandate will be with Yashwant Sinha while visiting at various places. And he has also requested that returning officers that he should make a tough eye on the ballot paper as well, because today, as we are seeing, according to Election Commission, green ballot paper will be given to MPs and MLAs will be given pink ballot paper. And today, before the voting starts, all the MLAs have reached their particular states, because in assembly constituencies MLAs will start voting and MPs will vote in parliament as well. Though Aam Aadmi Party has extended their support for opposition candidate Yashwant Sinha, we'd like to again show you the residence of Yashwant Sinha. I'll ask my video journalist Bish to show you that right now we are outside his residence. He is expected to leave for parliament at around 10:30 a.m. Though if we talk that he is the opposition candidate and TMC, and along with TMC many parties are still with Yashwant Sinha. On July 15th he also held a meeting with Congress MLAs as well, where he was seen clearly saying that many tribal MPs and MLAs are extending their support to Draupadi Murmu, because if she got elected she'll be the first woman tribal president of the country. But yes, he is also believing that mandate will come in his favor. So let's wait and watch how the voting will go today, because from 10 a.m. in the morning voting in the parliament will start and it will go till 5 a.m. in the evening. So very important day. All have kept their fingers crossed. All have been trained also, MPs, MLAs, how they have to vote today. A special design pen with a violet ink will be given today to all the MPs, from which they will vote on their ballot paper. So today is a very crucial day. The mock voting for this very important president election has already happened. So this is a day, and 21st July will be the day when the result will be announced. Yes, back to the studio.
Well, Harsha, stay with us. We also have with us Piyush Ori. Piyush, we were just listening to Harsha, how Yashwant Sinha, the opposition candidate, also expressing full confidence of victory. As the countdown begins, it's just about 3 hours left for the president, for voting to begin in the House for for India's new president. Well, when we talk about Draupadi Murmu, the NDA fully confident of a victory.
Well, good morning to you, Rukma. And yes, NDA is confident that India will get its second woman president after Pratibha Singh Patil, because clearly NDA has the numbers. The thing which are going to be seen is that how much the victory margin may be. There is a speculation that the victory margin in this case now will be more than 65%, as in case of the previous president, Ramnath Kovind. So yes, the numbers are clearly in the favor of Draupadi Murmu, and even the opposition realizes it. But never mind, they are trying to put a tough fight. They are trying to make sure that Yashwant Sinha gives a tough fight to Draupadi Murmu. But as I said, the numbers are not in the favor of opposition candidate Yashwant Sinha. Right now, I'm reporting from Delhi Legislative Assembly, where the Aam Aadmi Party, which is trying to, become the premier opposition party, taking into consideration about the status of Congress nationwide, has said that, despite their respect for Draupadi Murmu, they will go ahead and give support to Yashwant Sinha. Not only in Delhi Legislative Assembly, but Aam Aadmi Party also has a majority in Punjab. But despite them having majority in Delhi Legislative Assembly and Punjab Legislative Assembly, it will not be enough to provide enough numbers to Yashwant Sinha, who was earlier in BJP but now has shifted his base and has now come into the opposition forum. Having said that, again, as I said, it is going to be very interesting to see now what is going to be the
So, well, our correspondents there on the ground, the countdown has begun for the 10 a.m. voting for the presidential polls. It's the mega face-off for the position of the 15th president of India, Yashwant Sinha from the opposition side and Draupadi Murmu. Sambhav, our correspondent, also with us. Sambhav, we were just speaking with Harsha and then Piyush, and he was telling us that how parties are divided. There are so many issues that have come up in the process of these presidential elections. For example, parties that are opposed ideologically and in many other ways to the NDA, they too have come out in support of Draupadi Murmu because of what she represents. Meanwhile, others, because of political considerations, the Aam Aadmi Party, for example, it's trying to take the place of the Congress as far as a strong opposition is concerned. That's what Piyush told us. And so it feels that it is bound to support Yashwant Sinha. Tell us about, give us some perspective from your end, Sambhav. What's happening there?
So it's going to be an interesting fight between Draupadi Murmu on one side and Yashwant Sinha on other side. Some 4,800 member of parliaments and member of legislative assemblies from across the assemblies are going to vote today. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to win and takes as the 15th president of India. Well, it seems as if the majority is towards the side of Draupadi Murmu, but still it is to be seen today with by what margin she is gonna win today. It is gonna to be it's going to be an interesting thing to see. All other parties supposedly in the assemblies, how they are going to support this presidential candidate, that is Draupadi Murmu today.
Right. Sambhav, stay with us. Also, we have with us Harsha and Piyush as well. Now, Madhurima, I think, is joining us. Madhurima, we were just talking about the elections today. It's the mega face-off between Yashwant Sinha and Draupadi Murmu. Well, as of now, the numbers clearly with the NDA's presidential candidate, but it's likely to be a very interesting election. It's over to you to give us some more perspective. You did meet many top leaders as they came for that all-party meet before the monsoon session yesterday.
Well, yes, absolutely. It's going to be a very interesting battle because Yashwant Sinha, despite knowing that the numbers are not in his favor, he has been campaigning very hard and has been promising a lot. Where he has been asserting over the fact that if he really wins the top coveted post, he will make sure that the government's habit of toppling government and the other parliamentary habits that they alleged is habitual or comes natural to the NDA will stop. He has been asserting on this point time and again that if he is elected to the top post, he is going to bring a lot of stability, as he suggests and claim, to the function of the incumbent government, as he believes that this particular government has been very aggressive as far as forming the government in multiple states is concerned. He has been highlighting this fact that if he is chosen for the top post, he will be making efforts to stabilize the entire environment, which the opposition party claims has been toppled and has been a little wrecked because of the Bharatiya Janata Party-led central government. However, at the same time, the NDA's candidate is a very strong one. They have very wisely chosen a tribal candidate, Draupadi Murmu. The numbers are also in the favors. Though a lot of accusations and a lot of political mudslinging happened in and around Draupadi Murmu's name, she is still standing strong as a valid candidate for the NDA. And also, what needs to be highlighted here is despite the ranting of the opposition, it is quite obvious that the numbers are in favor of Draupadi Murmu. However, all the opposition parties, including the Congress and otherwise, have also put in their all efforts. They have not left any stone unturned to back Yashwant Sinha. They have been campaigning and putting in a good word so that he is elected. However, we'll have to wait and watch as to what happens in the parliament today and, of course, the multiple assembly houses all across the country, as this particular contest will begin at 10 and will end in the evening at 5. It's going to be a very, very, politically aggressive day, as everybody will be coming in. Multiple statements will be made in the House of the Parliament and otherwise. We'll be bringing that for our viewers as well. We are reporting from all corners here in the national capital, and I'm reporting from near the residence of Draupadi Murmu. We'll also be giving her visuals as soon as she leaves over here, because she is the strongest candidate by, of course, because of the numbers. But we'll have to wait and watch as to what kind of fight will Yashwant Sinha put forth in front of a very worthy opponent. Back to you.
Right. Well, Madhurima, stay with us. We also have with us Piyush Mishra. Piyush, Yashwant Sinha continues to be in the fight, in the race to Raisina Hill, despite all that has happened before. And when we talk about Draupadi Murmu, despite the opposition's rants, as Madhurima said, remarks and comments that we heard only even till yesterday, Draupadi Murmu, is she likely to sail through? Take us through the numbers and the parties as far as you know where they stand.
Well, look, if we talk about the numbers are in favor of Draupadi Murmu because she is NDA is the presidential candidate, and Yashwant Sinha is the one who initially was enjoying a lot of support from opposition political parties. But since the time the name of Draupadi Murmu was announced by NDA, we saw how many political parties, including JMM, YSRCP, BJD, everybody came in support of Draupadi Murmu, which was indeed a huge setback for the opposition's presidential candidate Yashwant Sinha. If you go by the numbers, there are around 4,809 votes that are to be polled today for the election of the 16th president of India. If you go by the process, it's a very complicated process because the electoral office gives a green slip to a member of parliament and pink slip to member of legislative assemblies, because the entire electoral college comprises of the elected member of parliament, not nominated, and elected member of legislative assemblies. So in total there are 4,809 polls. Those are to be polled, and for that all the preparations have already been done in Delhi. The elections will take place in Secretariat, in Assembly, in Parliament. Members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will cast their vote from 10 a.m. to 5
So
p.m.
we're getting you all the updates, Piyush. I have to interrupt you now.